Dallas, Texas. And let's join a Pro Bowl defensive end, a Dallas Cowboys star, Demarcus Lawrence. Demarcus, thanks for joining us. Let's get right to it. All right, you signed a long-term deal in 2019 with the Cowboys, but in 2018, you had to play under the franchise tag. What was that pressure like, playing a year under the franchise tag?
Oh, yeah. Just looking back on it, I feel like it was a lot of pressure. Just going into the season, knowing like you only have 1 year left to prove yourself, and you don't know where you're going to be the next season. But it is also a blast for me to find myself and really bet on myself and understand that I have more in the tank to give.
What advice, this was a setup question, what advice would you give Dak Prescott if he's forced to play this coming year under a franchise tag? Do you think it could impact his performance?
I really don't have no advice, for another man. I mean, he has to make his own decision. I think he has some good leadership counsel in his corner. So I feel like he'll do the right thing and, he'll get paid.
Well, what happened to the Cowboys last season? We see the talent on the roster, obviously including yourself, but then not making the playoffs, 8-8 record. What happened to the Cowboys?
Yeah, I really think this all comes down to knowing who you are and just focusing on, what's in front of you. Had so many obstacles come our way and, it kind of divided us as a team. And, we weren't about this or other things around us instead of worrying about, sticking to our job and sticking with the coach and, finding a way to win. So I feel like we didn't capitalize on a lot of opportunities we had to win.
Now, I'm going to preface this next question by telling you I'm the wrong person to ask this, but also the perfect person to ask this in terms of you, Demarcus Lawrence. You had 25 combined sacks last 2 years, and then last year, only 5 sacks. So I've been there before. I understand it, but I want to hear from you. What happened to you last year?
Really nothing that happened to me last year. I know I finished the season with 5 sacks, but I also, helped other players, boost their numbers back up to double digits. So it's not a one-man game, and I know how to, play the game the right way. I know how to, make plays when the plays come my way, and I also know how to make sure my teammates are making their plays when it's their opportunity. So trust me, you ain't got to worry about nothing. The sack number will be back up.
Hey, like I said, I'm the perfect person for that question, understanding that it's more than just sacks. That said, they do count sacks, and they count it more than any other category. So this offseason, being a bounce-back offseason, how are you preparing? Anything different?
Right now, during this quarantine, I've really been, focusing on, my faith, my family, and football. And what I've been doing is, doing little workouts with the kids, just trying to, spend more time with them that I wouldn't have if we was back in football right now. So I'm doing all I can with them and also trying to keep up with their energy. It's tremendous. So just being able to keep up with them, I know I can keep up with the young kids that just came out of the draft.
Now, no, I'm not trying to set you up to take shots at Jason Garrett, who's a fellow Ivy Leaguer, my dog. But what are you expecting out of your new coach, Mike McCarthy, that you didn't get out of Jason Garrett?
So Jason Garrett, I only had one head coach in my NFL career, but just being able to meet Mike McCarthy and understand, the type of formula that he's trying to bring into Cowboy Nation, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the draft picks. Very excited about, the whole coaching change and being able to be under new wings and new leadership and, see where it goes from there. I'm just ready to play football, period.
Say it.
Demarcus, we were talking off camera, and you mentioned about how you're working out basically in your backyard. This has been a very unique offseason for every NFL player. Tell us You got a gym in your backyard. How are you preparing individually for this season?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I was fortunate enough to get paid before, the pandemic happened. So I'm well set up on gym equipment, a little space where I can do band resistant runs, work out with the kids, run around them circles. So, I mean, it's just all about, just taking the time out and just doing something every day and, making sure you're doing it, with effort and understanding what you're doing.
You mentioned also that it does creep into your mind a little bit, the uncertainty of whether we're even going to have a season this coming year. How does that impact your focus and intensity on the workouts? Is it harder to stay focused with so much uncertainty about this upcoming season?
Oh, most definitely. That uncertainty come in once you don't have that schedule or that regimen that you usually have of getting up at 7:30 in the morning. Now I can sleep until 10 or 12 if I wanted to. So it's all about having that regimen and really keeping that focused mentality of if season does come back or it don't, you still make sure you place yourself in a position to be the best defensive player in the league.
Cowboys have made a couple of very interesting offseason moves. Obviously, they've signed Andy Dalton to back up Dak Prescott. But on the defensive side, and maybe the most interesting move of the offseason, the Cowboys signed Aldon Smith and bring him back to life in the NFL. Do you know Aldon? Have you met Aldon? Have you reached out to him? And how difficult will it be to return to being a great pass rusher after sitting out for 4 years?
Yes. It's a great opportunity, for Aldon to come in, be back under some of his old coaches and get another opportunity. You never can, knock a man for, getting another opportunity or want that opportunity. And, Aldon was also always, a good defensive lineman. So, I don't think you forget that type of intensity or how to rush.
A large conversation is happening around Dallas about the quarterback position. I want to get your mindset since you're an elite player yourself. When you get a very capable, if not good, backup, and that's what's happening at your quarterback position with Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton, what's the mindset when you know the guy behind you is really close to being right there with you?
I think it picks up your intensity of, pushing yourself to limits that you didn't know you can go. Like with me in my situation, I had Randy Gregory right on my hip, and the Cowboys brought in Greg Hardy or more people, and it brought more focus out of me, and it made me want to tune up my engine so I can be better than anybody. Period. So I feel like it'll help Dak explode into his career and get the contract that he's looking for.
Demarcus, before we let you get out of here, tell us about the Hot Boys and some of the charity work you guys have been doing during this.
Yeah, so me and the Hot Boys, first off, we wanted to, make sure we was explaining that we're more than just a name or more than just a team. We wanted to live outside of that and, make sure we put our stamp into the community. And, we raised over $35,000, for small business owners. Then we don't hand it out over $1,000.